Issue 57. 10 little squigs that are part of a herd, and 2 little grots to herd them with. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games, and today we're going to be doing issue 57 of our continuing Hachette series of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now this issue comes with 10 squig herds and 2 kind of grot handlers or grot prodders which kind of manage the little squig herds. It also comes with a little bit of lore on the flesh eater courts, which are basically vampiric cannibalistic monsters that kind of, well, do exactly what it says in the tin. They eat the flesh of others, and they are a blight in all of the mortal realms except Aesir, and no mortals are safe from their deadly hunger. Now, there's a bit of a tragedy to them as well, because they believe that they're kind of a valiant society. So you can see one here looking in the mirror, and they see themselves as kind of noble knights that are protecting their serfs rather than kind of attacking innocents, and that the shattered bones thrust through their flesh are medals, and that the voracious feeding frenzies they engage in are banquets held in their honour to celebrate righteous victories on the field of battle. So there is a kind of a touch of tragedy to them, and you have different domains. You have the Morgaunt, the Blisterskin, the Hollowmorn, and the Gristle Gore. You also have the squig herd here, which are basically bouncing mayhem. So they continue on the very fun kind of characteristics of the Gloomspite Gits, in that all the squigs have their own little personalities and can be kind of difficult to manage. And for every few of them, you need to actually make sure that you have a grot prodder with them. Now, they have some very interesting traits as well, where they're kind of angry with the grot herders who have prodded and bullied them into battle. They have a very hungry and will bite the nearest available object, whether it's an enemy, a grot, or a tree. Or they could be furious with the rest of the world in general and easily turn on the unfortunate enemy. They're half dead from the grot herders' incessant banging, and there's some very fun things that you can do with the sprues in these. They're overjoyed to be together in a herd and want nothing more than to find someone to chew together, and they're from all different herds and have to be strongly persuaded to attack the enemy rather than each other. So there's a lot of fun little characteristics to these guys. You have the champions of Shaiish, so again it gives you some of the kind of the characteristics there for them as well. You have the how to build guide. Now what's interesting is you can assemble the heads and assemble the bodies separately and kind of apply them as you will. So if you were to actually buy 2 issues of this magazine, you could get 20 little grots, 20 little squigs, all of different shapes and sizes, depending on what way you want to kind of do it, and 4 different kind of grot herders. Now I picked 2, which are one with a guy with a kind of a spike and one guy with kind of bagpipes, but you can also have one with a fellow which is a kind of a fishing, has a kind of a mushroom fishing thing, and you have another fellow which has kind of symbols that he can clash. But the instructions for both are here, so if you do pick up this magazine in the wild and you see a second one, it's worth considering whether or not to buy the second issue. You have the usual how to paint, and you have of course the war scroll here for the squig herd, and the battle plan is called Forged in War, the Uruk Hunt. Now, as for the squigs themselves, again, they're just fun. These things are always great fun to paint, and they don't take that much time, but they look great. So, I mean, you've one fella here now basically hopping over a load of mushrooms. The drool is flying out of his mouth. The teeth are so big that his tongue can barely fit out. You have another fella here, which, again, has a kind of a weird little spider tendril on the end of his head, but nevertheless is going forward, ready to kind of eat all and sundry. You have another fella here with a kind of a mad little horn on his head. So they've tiny little beady eyes that you can barely see here. I don't think I can zoom in any further with the camera, unfortunately. But they're very fun kind of little creatures. Again, it's nothing but stomach, legs, and teeth. You have another fella here as well. So they're all kind of random squigs that are kind of put together into a little herd. And if you, of course, lose a grot herder, the herd loses cohesion and some of them disappear. So I mean, I love this guy because he is literally just flying through the air, bounding after God knows what, that even the kind of the lip is coming up over the teeth, and you can see the kind of the teeth protruding through the bottom of the actual lip here. So really cool little designs. Again, another one here in kind of full motion. So the bodies are all different, but the heads can be put in any way you want. This one is one of my favorites because he got annoyed with this particular grot herder and decided to eat him. So you can see that the guy is literally trying to pull his way out of the squig's mouth. So yeah, it's a grot herder that should have petted rather than prodded a little bit more, I'd say. You have another one here. Again, you can see the teeth are actually starting to protrude the bottom of the chin there. So sorry, just trying to get the focus. You can see the teeth protruding through the bottom of the actual chin here. So again, they're very pointy, very bouncy, very horrible little creatures, and you get a full 10 of them. So there's a lot of value in this little issue. And if you buy 2 of them, of course, you can kind of, you know, it's not going to be the same thing over and over and over again because you can swap all the heads. And we have one more grot before we move on to the actual grot herders themselves. So again, lots of really cool little things. And we have this guy here, of course, has the actual prodding stick, and I wanted to give him kind of leather gloves because it's not something you want to be touching. And of course, he needs to be fairly well protected because they're, as you can see from this poor, excuse me, as you can see from this poor unfortunate, it's a kind of a hazardous job to have. And you also have here the one of the other ways of kind of coaxing them. Now, I like the whole kind of bagpipe thing, but you can make another version of these with a mushroom being held off the end of a stick by this figure, and this guy, instead of playing bagpipes, is kind of clashing cymbals. So a very fun, very interesting little issue, and one I think worth buying twice if the Gloom Spike Gits are your thing. So lots of good stuff in this issue. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and until next time, good luck, God bless, and stay safe.